is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
Aww. Did she go somewhere that was for homeless people? What? That looks so fancy. Aw, that was nice.
Good morning, you guys. So we're going back to the other area because here at this spot, which is one of my favorite spots, unless you add in all of the people who find out we're here and come from just over the river to harass us. I loved this spot. Okay, I absolutely loved it. We found out I was pregnant here, and we love this spot. But we're moving because of the losers and harassers who came over from the other side of the river to harass us.
Losers came on the other side of the river. Girl, I know it. Don't I know about them fucking rivers?
Who came over from the other side of the river to harass us. At the other spots, there are not any harassment going on. Literally at like 10 o'clock last night, they come knocking on the door at 10. They're like, y'all good? Like some fucking good dressed, like literal drug dealer. Like, bro, get the fuck away from me. I've told these motherfuckers 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Get the fuck away from me with that shit. That is what we call not extortion. What's the word? Hold on, I'm gonna remember. That is what we refer to as coercion, okay? That is not the type of drug dealing that I'm okay with. If you're a drug dealer, you should have people who are asking you or people who you already know who need it, who then they tell, oh, so-and-so has it if you need it. You should not be knocking on anyone's door.
Oh, hell no. Don't be knocking on no one's door. That's probably a crackhead. That's one of your friends, bro.
Especially someone in an already vulnerable state of homelessness, dealing with pain and all this other shit. That is not acceptable. Do good business.
Wait, was she talking about he knocked on her door? Like, she has a door to her tent, and that's what he knocked on it? Like, you can knock on a tent? Bro, I need to see tents. I've got to go somewhere and see displays of tents to see an exhibit of what Heather lives in, I guess. Because whenever I think of a tent, I mean, I'm thinking of just your basic camping tent. But her locking doors and having a door you can knock on, that is mind-blowing.
Or don't do business at all, or be out of business. That's it. You don't go up to people's tents, knocking on their fucking doors, trying to give them crack or heroin or whatever the fuck you've got. If people use that shit recreationally and they call you, that's different. That's on them. But you don't walk around here being fucking Lucifer, ruining people's lives and killing people off. That's what I mean by I don't care about drug dealers selling drugs. Everyone wants to come at me because I say that. I care about people being extorted or coerced. I don't care about people getting money.
You don't care about people getting money? Yeah, okay. Anyways, pay attention, please. When your children and the people around you start acting funny, there's most likely a third-party interference that isn't usually there. Oh, gosh.
They're cutting people's hairs and eyebrows to look super bogus. And I know that we've been responding to this by just ignoring it and making whatever haircut they give us the cool haircut. But what the fuck? You know, it's weird and I don't like it.
What is she talking about?
My son's hair is getting long on the sides again and he doesn't like it either. And then they try to play these power and control games where they have my sponsors' money being held or they don't allow these messages to get to my sponsors. I asked Mark to send me $65 so that I could pay a phone bill. I asked someone else to pay me, I think, $35. Oh, and I need $35 because I need my son to get his sides trimmed up. In addition to that, he might be getting his braces today, my baby.
I thought he was supposed to already get his braces. That's, took a while. Anyways, do you not think he will get his hair done if it wasn't for you or something? Like, do you think nobody else who the person or people who are actually raising him and taking care of him, you don't think that they would do it? I mean, I would hope so. I would hope damn well that he wouldn't have to depend on his fucking homeless mom to get his edges done, but I also don't really think that's the case. I think they're good. Just what did he ask for? He asked for pajamas. That was kind of random. Don't y'all think? Y'all remember that? A couple days ago, supposedly he texted and, asked for some pajamas, or something. He needed some pajamas. Why? I don't know.
And Viviana, like I said before, has only answered 7 or 8 times in the last 30 days, and that is not like her. So what is the difference? What goes on? Mark these dates down. If you don't have exact dates, look at my videos. So anyways, you guys.
Hackers, if they have me in another text box, please get me out. It is not at all like my sponsors to leave us high and dry. I'm 28 weeks pregnant. Please. She's mad. Y'all are lacking on sponsors. You know what? Good job. Congratulations to us. Happy Thanksgiving. I want them to eat, but I don't want them to scam and lie. So it looks like people are starting to open up their eyes and realize, recognize.
Guys, like I was saying, I need donations right now, please. I'm not trying to sound like a bitch. Obviously, this is not extortion or coercion. This is simply asking for donations. Anything from $1 to $5 helps. You guys have literally been the only things keeping me alive. You see me sleeping in a tent. Some days we have to literally beg our sponsors to meet us somewhere and bring us meals. That hasn't been the case in like 2-3 weeks. Everything has gotten a lot worse 2-3 weeks ago. No, about a week ago, I would say, about a week ago. Food has become difficult to get in certain days. I'm hoping that changes very soon because it is Christmas, it is Thanksgiving, it is cold. I am 28 weeks pregnant. I have 3 children waiting for me. Please, if you could send anything, it's very much appreciated. And I'm putting my Cash App right here. If you've been donating, don't think I don't see you and don't think I don't appreciate it. And if you just don't have it.
So you're a bitch. That's where you're like, you're a whole ass bitch. Like, oh, if you've donated, don't think I don't see you. Like, thank you. I appreciate everything you do. That's fucked up. You should not have that many, like, you should be able to thank each and every one of them and actually be personal with them, to be honest. Like, if they are sponsors, wouldn't you have some type of relationship with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, that just pisses me off. Here we go. Like, here's another thing. Whenever you do help Heather, if she lets you help her, whenever she just wants your fucking money, she probably will not thank you. Like, but she wants them to come. So, yeah, thank you, keep them coming, but she just doesn't see it. Bullshit, you don't see it. It makes me so mad. Like, that's the very least you can do is thank the people who helped you. Thank the people who donated to you. Out of the goodness and kindness of their own heart and probably prayed over it before, then, you know, that it went to food or something that you needed. That God know that you needed. And that it didn't go to drugs or everything else that you're getting. And you can't stop and say thank you real quick. Send them a text message, email, you know.
Thank you anyways for listening.
Like, is there that many fucking people sending you? That's what pisses me out. There ain't that many people sending you money where this shit's going by so fast and you don't even know who's who. Like, oh, she makes me so mad. The technical word for when a third party prevents outgoing or incoming communication. Tech box, not text box.
Hi guys, super pregnant, Thanksgiving belly. It does not even feel like Thanksgiving. It feels so weird. So this is the third year in a row that I have not gone to my grandma's house. You know, it is what it is. I'm about to have a baby and my hips and I'm definitely looking for...
Why is it skipping? It must be the Wi-Fi. Okay, like... That one picture I saw, I'm not gonna lie, like, it looked cute. She looked cute. Is that like a crop shirt? Why isn't it going down? It looks like, and she needs to just cover it a little bit. Just, you know, a little bit. I don't know why it's skipping. But, do y'all know if she went somewhere to eat? Like, did they go to like a little, that was nice. Like, I'm glad they put their pride aside to go to something like that. Or... I don't even know if they have pride, honestly.
Solutions. All of my open cases with 311 have been closed, which makes me feel like this is more of a hostage situation than anything. If they refuse to allow me to go through the public system of assistance after they're the ones who intentionally...
Oh, come on. So people are around her. You can hear people They must be like waiting for their food or something. I don't know. The Wi-Fi sucks.
When cases with 311 have been closed, which makes me feel like this is more of a hostage situation than anything. If they refuse to allow me to go through the public system of assistance after they're the ones who intentionally... I pretty much host all of my photo shoots and creative think tanks and things of that nature. Being curated with also my writing is my there is no other reason. So Steve and I came to the Gwen. This is everyone
The Gwen. Okay.
who's been following me since my days of shooting content for GoPro Solo began. And GoPro Solo, if you don't know, is my production baby, where I pretty much host all of my photo shoots and creative think tanks and things of that nature. Being curated with also my writing. So if you've also been following since the many career, which ended around, I want to say 2019, not because anyone wanted me to stop, but because I wanted to stop. I never really wanted to start to begin with, what you all know. If you've...
Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating.
With who have large listings, so like for printing, so not necessarily using canvas, but printing and imposing these images upon other sorts of materials. My idea for the one that you guys see on the GoPro Solo page, a GoPro Solo production, if you're not already following, it's a large piece. It's about, I would guess, in real life, something like 6 foot by about
9 by 7,
12 feet. It's definitely a lot taller
Xavier said it was larger than life.
than it is wide. It's a rectangle, but I would like to make it irregular, and I would like to do so with some sort of...
Damn it! Thought we was on a roll. Was this doing this on the live? All our other videos were working for me. Come on, I don't want to fast forward. I don't want to miss anything. Like, I don't want to skip over something. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving.
Tours around this area and not having any real success back. I don't know if it's because they have me in a...
Oh my gosh. This is not even worth watching. I mean, my video is. This one's not.
I am capable. I have been being oppressed for multiple years. I do want to press charges against everyone involved. The oppression that they have forced me to endure has resulted in numerous sexual assaults, numerous...
I really hope people aren't like sitting literally right next to her, across from her. I mean, I really hope they got a lot of room. I mean, nobody wants to hear that. I hate it when she does that in public. And she does that on purpose because she wants people, that's how she gets her little sponsors. She's like, oh, they can hear my story and then they can feel bad for me and give me a home. Every time.
Nationally, and she always would help my sister get jobs, and I would always like be upset, like, why won't she get me a job?
Did Xavier just pull the food? What was that you just pulled closer to him? I hope that was him.
You know, I would love to work there. So I just took it upon myself in 2017-18 to become a personal trainer. I was prepping with an NPC, and IFBB Pro prep coach Christian McCoy, and I was on a very, very intense and strict diet. And I was going to the gym 2 times a day, and I had phenomenal results. If you guys look at the last post I made, where there's a 3-year difference between my leanest and how I am now. I'm 7 months pregnant now, but at my leanest, I was very, very lean, very muscular and very lean. And I did all of that from a 6-month postpartum state. So my child was 6 months old, and I was in the gym at about 200 pounds, and I'm 5'9". I've always been, a very tall woman. But she was 6 months old, and I was 200 pounds, and in a matter of 4 months, no steroids, no medication, no nothing, I was down to 150, and I was leaning out like it was my job to lean out.
Bro, but look, I don't want to take away everything that you actually did do, but taking drugs, especially Adderall, like, that definitely helps you lose weight too.
And everyone was approaching me saying, your bone structure and your body looks like you'd be more, inclined to compete wellness, but I wanted to compete bikini. So I kept at it, and and eventually I got to where you'll see in 2019. But that was, a struggle. I had to go through 4 years of sometimes eating and prepping and doing what I was supposed to, versus sometimes being forced to stay awake 3-4 days at a time, not allowed to sleep, and then being sexually assaulted.
Oh my God.
And ignored by law enforcement after I would call them and ask them for help. I've filed hundreds of police reports regarding each of the matters. I have a paper trail so thick, it would burn the world down if someone lit it ablaze. And in addition to having all of those police reports, I also have medical records. So after I would be assaulted, or, something would take place, my house would be broken into.
So she got major receipts, but she will not show them.
Dosed. I would go to the hospital, and I would document it there. I would go to my private doctor, and I would document it there, and I would file police reports. And I've been doing this since 2016. We're in 2023 now, and I've still made no direct connection with law enforcement regarding any of these matters. I told you to lock it.
It is locked, but I just want to check on it. Like the phone, I'll leave the phone in my gym.
Okay.
Xavier is trying to get high. He said he gonna go check it. She said, I thought you locked it. Yeah, I just want to check it though. She's pissed. Look, she knows she can't make a scene there. Ooh, she knows she can't make a scene there, girl. She pissed. Oh, yeah, he's definitely hitting that pipe.
So, I'm really not in the mood, for any more game playing. If you guys have ever had to sleep on the floor while you're pregnant, it's very painful. Not at all enjoyable. But I lose hope, and then I get bored of being less, of hope, of being in a deficit of hope, so to speak, and I start again. What more is there to do? There's really nothing. I document these things over and over again because, like I've always said, I believe that there's more evil in the world than there is, more good in the world than there is evil. I don't believe in evil. I believe all evil eventually falls, and they fall ugly. And so when someone like myself, who is literally recruited by the United States government and forced into a situation as what they refer to as an angel, so if there is some sort of criminal activity going on, they will find someone with no criminal background and kind of an education, and they will insert them as a mole. And I'm not the first nor
mole, just like Molina, you said, right? So she's a mole and an angel now. That's what she was the chosen one.
Will I ever be the last? It's just we're talking about it more and more on social media these days, and we have more channels of communication where we can do so. In the past, before social media, something like this could happen to you, and you didn't have the ability to reach more than whoever was in your social circle. Once social media really took off, it started giving us the opportunity to discuss these things in the masses, and that was what people refer to as the Grand Awakening, where the most amount of people started looking around themselves and realizing, I I think the way that I've been told to live life is probably not going to work, and this is why. As I always say, a lie cannot stand next to the truth and not be exposed. It will be exposed. And it is exposed. It's been exposed. So that's kind of the background of how we got here. Now, to go from having Thanksgiving with my 3 children in a 4-star hotel, having a...
Bro, this is like a movie. I'm telling y'all, I'm waiting for a Lifetime movie like this to come out. Because could you imagine, like, I wish you would turn her phone around because I want to see what it looks like in there. Could you imagine, like, it is like a freaking movie. Like, you're so used to having, like, I couldn't imagine, having Thanksgiving with your family, your kids, your babies, just everybody. And then all of a sudden you're in a community for like homeless people and you're eating, like that has to be so sad. Like, so I'm just wondering where the climax is. If this is like a movie, like when is it gonna get better? Like, is this when she realizes? I don't know, because how many Thanksgivings and Christmases have we been through, and she still hasn't done anything. She's pregnant. Well, she was pregnant last year too, around this time, and she still didn't do fucking anything. Like, how many chances are there? How many times are it gonna take? Come on, like you could do this. Just come on, like open up your eyes, like resuscitate.
Family staycation, watching movies, and going over to Nordstrom and getting everyone a nice outfit and posing for Christmas pictures next to the tree, to literally sleeping in my car that I had just paid off a Cadillac CTS for $15,000, my very first car note in my life. I had to have a co-signer, Amy Bolin, who was my assistant at the time. And I just remember this tremendous sense of pride. And to go from that and having the car be your most prideful thing to being separated from your children, not even having your car to sleep in anymore, and being left outside in a tent going into year 4, it's incredibly painful. The fact that I'm able to get up on Thanksgiving morning and even try to curate a meal, especially while I'm pregnant, with no idea of what's going to happen, or who and why is trying to oppress me, it's really phenomenal. And it goes to show you how strong the human psyche is when you have no other choice but to be strong. But I do want to press charges still. They're repeating the same fake, curated set of circumstances over and over going into year 4. I don't feel like it's real. There's nothing going on in Chicago. The streets look empty. I miss my children terribly. Viviana texts me this morning. Now understand, I talk to my children 5-6 times a day. Usually.
What? You do not talk to your kids 5 to 6 times a day. Stop.
Every day. And then there will be this period where all of a sudden all 3 of my kids I'm not able to talk to them. I'll call them and 1 out of 3 will answer at a time, and they'll be really evasive and say everything's fine, Mom, and not be very specific about anything. And while that's going on, other weird things start going on, i.e. I ordered my son a pair of pajama pants from Target for in-store pickup. Him and my mother-in-law go to pick them up.
She's such a freaking lie. Last time she said that it was shipping. Because remember, she was like, oh, they're going to ship it, they're going to deliver it on Thanksgiving? That's cool. But, so now it's pickup.
They arrive, they say that the order was canceled. The money was still taken out of my account, and it still shows as a completed order on my end. But he drove all the way over there with my ex's mom, and they wouldn't give him the pajama pants. Several things come into play here. Number 1, why is this happening? Do people understand that for someone with no vehicle who is raising someone else's children because they're being oppressed unlawfully, they don't have the most patience or resources to put him in the car and take him to Target? It's a pain in the ass. And for a child to have to ask someone that's not their parent to take them somewhere or do anything in the first place, it's not their place. My children should be with me, and if they need something, they should be able to say, Mom, can you take me here? Can you do this? Can you do that? And that's it. There is no negotiation about that. The way that you people have handled me is incredibly wrong, and I deserve every single penny that I have coming from restitution. In 2022, I was bludgeoned over the head with a tire iron, or 2021, by a man named Juan Madero Romero. I just found out his name a few days ago. Why? Because I've been calling the state's attorney and police asking for an investigation to be conducted surrounding all of these random, attempts at, I call them murder. Because if someone beats you with a tire iron until you're unconscious, that's, to me, an attempt at your life.
Now you were unconscious?
But I was beaten with this tire iron, and I was taken to Elmhurst Hospital in an ambulance after being bludgeoned with all of these huge marks on my face and my head busted open. I needed staples in the back of my head. And that was the second violent victimization of my life. In 2019, I was jumped and stabbed by 3 women after leaving a visit to see Dylan. The state's attorney did nothing in either case. The state's attorney has not contacted me in either case. I am not an undercover officer. If I am being human trafficked as one, or...
That's weird. I wonder if, because I do believe both of those happened. And I guess I wonder if she chose not to press charges on the fights. The girls with the fights, I'm sorry, Ma, they just pulled out them screwdrivers. You know what I'm saying? They just had them. But most of the time, if there's a fight going on, most people, they don't press charges. You know what I'm saying? So it's just whatever. So they probably didn't press charges. But the bludgeoning, the one that I cannot wait to get the police report back on, well, PCG, so I can get it from PCG.
In the back of my head, and that was the second violent victimization of my life. In 2019, I was jumped and stabbed by 3 women after leaving a visit to see Dylan. The state's attorney did nothing in either case. The state's attorney has not contacted me in either case. I am not an undercover officer. If I am being human trafficked as one, or as a mole, I have verbalized hundreds of times through live broadcasts that I would like it to stop immediately, that I've neither given my permission nor consent to be used for any of those purposes. Here we still are 4 years later. Make it make sense. We're living in a time period where all of the laws of the Constitution don't make sense, and people telling me that we are being taken over is, in my opinion, part of a psyop. What do I mean by that, being taken over? Well, on my social media, they will show me only content that supports whatever their claim is. So if they're trying to get people, and this is what a psyop is, if they're trying to get people to believe in being gay, they start with extortion, and then they flood their influence with a lot of gay rhetoric, homosexual rhetoric. It's targeted and it's intentional. That's what Xavier is always referring to as a psyop. They do it for gay people. They do it for poor people. They do it for rich people. They create narratives that are only true for a select demographic, and then they have trouble when those demographics start crossing paths in real life. So if you have someone who has been led to believe through experience, through social media, through influence, that the world is one way, and then you have another group that is led to believe the exact opposite, and you intermingle them, problems begin to arise. And as I said before, prior to social media, there was a degree of separation between the classes that cannot be kept with social media. With social media being so prominent in today's society.
Stop. I don't know why, but I keep on looking at her hands, and I'm just like, her hands coming up and down.
Secrets that people kept as secrets unintendedly, they become public common knowledge. And now everyone who is sleeping, meaning unaware, their eyes are open and they're looking at the same set of people who they once looked up to, and they're saying, I'm supposed to trust you. You're supposed to be an idol of mine, but you couldn't care less if me and my children and my family have even had a meal today. I can't get behind that. And so social media did not create the problems. Social media exposed them. And that's kind of what I have been forced to talk about and deal with. You can believe and rest assured wholeheartedly that as I said, and as we planned, move far away from here once Dylan was done working his deals or whatever involvement he had with the United States federal government. I witnessed the deal being, made in Skokie, Illinois in 2015. I saw him sign it, and I have a copy of the proffer. It's uploaded to my cloud.
Let me see that.
Along with many other records. How do you explain that? How do you make sense of that? The deal was supposed to be finished, and I was supposed to move far away from here with my children and my husband. Instead, what happened is they began what they call renewing energy. And when Dylan got out of prison, he was forced by the criminal justice system to re-engage with really nasty people, really bad guys and gals. Have
a lot of bad guys and gals. I really need to go get my coffee, Heather. I really need you to hurry up here.
Up on themselves. And by bad, what do I mean? I mean, they feel hopeless. They've lost sight of any morals or values or integrity for the law, because if they have morals and values and integrity with the laws that most of us follow, they'll die. Because we've created a society where these people are so shunned,
I can't take her serious right now. I can't.
So lacking, so living in lack, that sometimes they don't even have money for.
Yeah, living in lack.
So they can't live by the same ethical conduct and moral guidelines that the rest of us live by, or they'll literally starve.
Yeah, we're better than that.
And in my opinion, as much as social media can expose...
On Pink, we wear Wednesdays. She's being a mean girl. So judgmental, Heather. I don't really know what she's talking about. I just need her to hurry up, and I can't.
People for supposedly doing the wrong thing. It can expose them for doing the right thing, and it can also expose them for doing the wrong thing for the right
Heather,
reason.
Stop.
In an effort to shed light on why and create solutions. So I'm still confused as to why I've had 2 years with no harassment, and now we're in 2023, and it seems like the same group of losers who launched all of these libelous and slanderous smear.
Wait, did she just say 2 years without harassment? So now she's saying she had no harassment for 2 years? I'm so confused. What? But I thought you're always harassed. You've been harassed for the last 4 years. So what 2 years were you not harassed? What 2 years were you admitting to lying about?
Campaigns from 2019 are back in action. My tooth, I whitened my teeth. What about it? My insurance doesn't cover.
Where did that come from? Who says that? That was so random.
Me to have this tooth pulled and have veneers on. It's a crown on my front tooth. You in these comments have sent about 50 different photos of a tooth. It's Thanksgiving Day, and you're sitting on my live video harassing and libeling me in the same way that you have been for.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. I don't think people should be making fun of other people's looks. And let me tell y'all, teeth are a bitch. I wish, I know, my parents always made me brush my teeth, and I was, good as a kid, but then you always, fall off whenever you are, 20, and then you're in your 30s, and you're like, what the fuck? I need to go to a dentist. And that's, Heather can't afford a tooth right now, so that is sad. I could imagine having a tooth like that. Even if it was her fault, if it was a mistake, an accident, if she did it, I don't know. I don't fucking know the tooth behind the damn butter tooth, or the story behind the butter tooth. I don't know. But I don't go for looks like that. And she can't do anything about it right now. She's fucking poor and homeless in a tent.
The past 4 years, in the same way that law enforcement has been watching, that the FBI has been aware of, and no one has done anything to stop or prevent. The things that you say are slanderous and libel to my business, to my ability to support myself. There is a dollar amount for that. And once it gets crossing over into a way where you're affecting my physical safety, which it has numerous times, now there is a prison sentence associated with that. Do you understand that? You cannot continue to put someone in harm's way through what you perpetuate on social media. Fully aware, because I'm sitting here on how many 100, 200 live videos explaining everything that's happening. Please do not dirty that book. So anyways, you guys, yesterday I received a call from someone named Alexandra from Ascension, who is supposedly a client advocate. So I'm trying to come up with reasons to be thankful since it's Thanksgiving. She said that she definitely has doctors at St. Joe's, which is near where we are. As you guys know, Xavier's father lives in the Gold Coast, and that was my last place of residence. And it was temporary. It was about a month we were there. Prior to that, it was 2037 West Roscoe and Roscoe Village.
Oh my gosh, this is so sad. Like, it is Thanksgiving. You're with Xavier. At least you're not alone, I guess. You're pregnant. You're eating probably, like, for the homeless. And, like, this is so sad. And yet you're still online. You're still live. Like, it messed up and then you had to go live the second time. That is so sad. Like, get off the damn phone. Enjoy a meal. Like, be thankful every day, not just because it's Thanksgiving. What a sad life.
So I have no way to receive any donations. People have been sending me maternity clothes, makeup, all sorts of things. They never reach me. Whoever is in that apartment is stealing them, which I've also filed police reports about. The same people who are doing that also stole my bin from in front of Xavier's father's house with my laptop on it, all my clothing, my makeup, all of my things, my yoga mat, my production equipment. And that was a year ago. I want to know how I continue to go live with all of this information where I'm presenting facts of abuse, facts of rape, facts of robbery, and they just keep up, the list just keeps growing. You know, nothing, they're never addressed. Where are the police? Are the police out of business? If the police are out of business, where are the feds? Are the feds out of business? Right? So what really is the situation in the United States of America? And I don't think I'm wrong for asking that. I think I'm absolutely right to be openly and honestly asking this question. And some of us, as I read on a sign the other day, cannot afford to be silent. For some of us, for some of you, you're thinking, oh,
I don't even know what she's talking about. Like, it's so hard to focus because all I could think about is what it looks like there. And, like, is there any part of Xavier that's like, damn, I miss some food, you know, like that? I don't know, but man, Thanksgiving be popping, like the food, you know, like I wonder if Xavier ever misses home and it ever, like, questions and if he should go back, or if this completely just does not fucking faze him. He just does not care. Like, it is sad. It is so sad to me that they are there. And not only that they are there, but they can't even enjoy the moment together. Like, she just needs to get off of social media.
If I enjoy the quality of my life, I better just be quiet and sit with this information. Well, what about for everyone who your silence is forcing into oppression? What about them? What about when you're the one sitting in oppression? If you don't have basic morals and values, I think that Thanksgiving is a phenomenal day to really examine yourself and be honest with yourself. What are you thankful for? Do you deserve it? And are you living your lifestyle in a way that's congruent with your own success as well as the success of others? I know for a fact that I am. So with all of these unanswered questions, with all of these solutions that I've presented for all of these situations, including poverty at a grand scale, why is there no action being taken? And why is there no direct communication? And what is the correlation between all of this that I'm living now and the supposed preparation from being at Tranquility Bay in Jamaica for all of those months? There are just so many issues. As I said, Xavier and I woke up this morning planning to go and intending to go to the Thanksgiving Day Parade downtown Chicago. We came down here and there was nothing going on. We arrived about an hour late, about 10 a.m. The live entertainment was scheduled to begin at 8 a.m. It didn't begin until a little after that, supposedly, and then it was supposed to go through 9. At 9, the parade was supposed to begin and go through about noon. As I said, we are just on the other side of the river, and there's maybe 5 people outside, on every block. This is so abnormal for Chicago, and I just have to question, is this an economy issue? Is this an issue of heating and cooling, if you know what I mean? Is this an issue of my own, where I am being intentionally put into situations that I cannot decipher? Meaning, is this real? Is this normal? Is this pre-planned or curated? Have you guys ever heard of a flash mob or a flash dance? Just as easily as they create those, they can create the opposite of those. They can create the illusion of abandonment.
Okay, Heather, that's not what's going on. Your life is not a mob flash dance. Like, what was that movie? The Truman Show. Oh, that movie will fuck you up, bro. Like, trust issues, what?
And I've dealt with that numerous times. And it's been really scary and really wild. So I guess my question is, on a day like today, where I look back and think of how grateful I've been, and how, even though I never really got to see my family on a regular basis because I lived in Chicago and they lived scattered throughout, north and west suburbs, I saw them on holidays, which was not enough, but I am grateful that I was able to. As I said 4 years ago, the very first Thanksgiving I spent here at the Gwen, a friend of mine, Sammy, he had nowhere to go on Thanksgiving, and he drove me in his Suburban with my children from here at the Gwen to my grandma's house in Palatine. And he had a meal with us, and he kind of got a behind-the-scenes look.
Did her and her kids seriously eat there for Thanksgiving 4 years ago? That's some sad shit. I really hope that's not true. I don't know why she would lie about that. But that would make me cry right now if I had a picture of her and those 3 kids eating at a table and they supposedly have so many family members around.
Into my family and what was going on at that time. And that was the last time I got to see my family for a holiday. Ironically, 4 months after that is when Dylan was released from prison. So when you try to say that there's no correlation between my life destructing and Dylan, it's impossible to say that because...
Oh my gosh, Heather, it's because you made the worst decisions whenever you were with Dylan.
Everything that began to happen in my life began with his release. I had never been in a fist fight, so much as a fist fight, prior to 2019. In 2019, I was jumped and stabbed. My home was intentionally flooded twice. My belongings were stolen out of my home.
I mean, dang, God was just warning you left and right, wasn't he? He was sure enough warning you, but you was not listening, and here you go. That's it.
I had to move. I was bullied out of my home where I lived legally. And every time I'd go to law enforcement, they just would do nothing. So as you began to voice your suffering in a way that forces people to pay attention,
She looks huge.
people have a way of negating your experience by making allegations against you or saying that you are seeing things or hearing things that don't really exist. Be careful with that. Be very careful with that. Be grateful, for what you have, but be very, very careful in settling what we allow and get used to. What we tolerate becomes the norm. As you sit in a space and you notice the way that you're treated, you're respected or you're not, you're ignored or you're embraced, you're made fun of and ridiculed, or you're loved and validated. move from the spaces where, or take action in the spaces where you are not validated in your most basic being, which is bare minimum basic amounts of respect that every single life form is deserving of. The more we ignore them, the more that we pretend like everything is fine, the more we create and set new standards for what fine looks like. If I decided ever to stop talking about what was going on with me, the message that I'm sending the universe is that I'm okay with being held in a tent against my will and all of the other oppressive measures that have been done unto me, which I am not. So I will continue to discuss it publicly until a resolution has been reached. And that goes the same with anything. If you're in an abusive relationship, if it's a friendship, whatever it is, the more you tolerate, the more normal it becomes. And you train others how to treat you. Xavier does certain things in a relationship because he knows that I value monogamy and a traditional gender role. So if you're in a relationship with someone for 16 months and they understand that you value monogamy and traditional gender roles, they have the information that they need to treat you how you want to be treated, to treat you in a way that's in line with your moral and ethical standing. When arguments become an issue or when disruption begins, it's because one or both parties is taking the expectation that has been clearly communicated. Because if the expectation hasn't been accepted or tolerated, then there's no arguing. There's just disagreeing. Like, hey, you're not going to treat me like that. It's not that way. Once the expectation has been communicated and you know how the person expects to be.
I wish somebody would upload a video of Heather doing this. I could just picture her in a room full of people talking to her phone. And everybody's, it's Thanksgiving Day. People are talking to each other. They're interacting with each other. And Heather's just talking about this shit again on Thanksgiving. Not giving thanks. Not freaking eating, chatting, talking, meeting people, fucking spending time with Xavier, just on the fucking phone, bitching, moaning, and complaining. What a sad, sad life, Heather. Like, you've got to do something with yourself. Like, seriously, girl.
Treated, and you wake up one morning treating them completely different. Again, something is going on with that. Is the person rolling on you because they're being incentivized financially to do so? Is the person rolling on you because someone has honeypotted them sexually? Is the person rolling on you because they're being extorted sexually? The whole psyop that I refer to as the evil game, that is a group of men who had no choice in many cases, but to engage in illicit sexual contact with men who were mostly straight to use for extortive purposes. And that's the...
It's so funny, like she knows when and where she needs to lower her fucking voice. You know what I'm saying? And I like to see that. Keep it, keep her in her lane. She can't act crazy there.
Flip side of the honeypot. So the federal government employs the use of honeypots, which means they will find someone who looks good, sounds good, acts good, talks good, and they'll send them in towards their target. And once they gain the affection of that person, they princess them. So then they make them think that they agree with everything they say, that they share the same opinions, and that they, are on their side. Doing so only disarms the victim. Doing so only makes the victim believe in a fake sense of trust and expose themselves for who they think the other person wants them to be. But that's not what's communicated in a courtroom. What's communicated in a courtroom is the person supposedly exposing themselves for who they truly are. It's not that way. The only way you could see who a person truly is if you observe them with no external influence, with no external coercion. That's the only reliable way to ever know who someone truly is. What does someone do when there is no one watching, when there is no one else around? When you add in that antagonist, you're losing your case, period. now you have a coerced, influenced, persuaded, or any other number of, colorful vocabulary that we could use to fill in the blanks there. And you're looking at exonerations that are probably not deserved. There are a lot of deserved exonerations, a lot of them. And I'm super grateful that I was given a voice and the opportunity to speak on a lot of this stuff, because we are treating everyone the same when we are not the same. Equality to me does not mean we are all the same. Equality means we're all deserving of the same. We all deserve the same basic baseline for human treatment. We all deserve indoor housing. We all deserve showers. We all deserve food. We all deserve families. We all have the right to procreate. We all have the right to keep our bodies and homes clean. We all have these rights. When those simple rights are taken away, there is no baseline. Now we have a society where any treatment is acceptable, and the laws don't matter in place of ethics, in my opinion. If you cannot find a way to work ethically and legally together, then you have no partnership, and you have no, society. You have nothing. You have to find a way to make the laws work with the ethics. Now, why is this important? Because when we're talking,
You can't, you won't, you don't. It's gone. That's been gone. Like, are you kidding me? Like, ethics and law, they don't. Like, they fucked that up fucking forever ago, Heather. Like, do you know how many times, like, I don't even want to get all into that shit, but you know how they take out the Bible and now they put in all the freaking Satan shit and pushing gender on kids and all this shit? Are you kidding me? Like, morals and ethics, no, they don't go with that. It's never going to work. That's why this world is completely fucking failing. Ugh.
Exonerations, we're using the term equality to our benefit. We're saying, well, you want everything to be equal, and that's one of the biggest arguments they throw in their face in such a condescending way. It's patronizing. Oh, well, you want everything to be equal? Well, yeah. Then give me the same access to the $10,000 an hour lawyer that you have that got you off your criminal charges. And now we can talk about equality. How many people are sitting in prison either for crimes they didn't commit, crimes they committed as a result of oppression, setups, or because they couldn't afford good legal counsel? So we're designing a society where recidivism is the only option for a good majority of us. How many men and women come out of prison to nothing and no one? And so the only option they have to meet their needs is to reoffend. We are profiting, and this Thanksgiving, as I said, I have to be grateful for my voice. We are creating a construct.
Out of everything, she's grateful for her voice. Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to be, like, condescending, like, rude. I'm just, that would be what she's, the number one thing she's thankful for. Her fucking voice.
Of society where we are more and more tolerant of blatant disregard for morals in place of laws. Blatant disregard for ethics in place of laws. So maybe it's time to reinterpret our Constitution. And maybe it's time to reinterpret life as it stands in the 23rd century. Is this the 23rd century? 21st century, because as I said before, we all have video cameras in our hands now. We can all prove our innocence in most cases if you look hard enough. Even the poorest of individuals with an electronic device can protect themselves. Where do you go and what do you do? It's probably pretty difficult for a person with no home to remember where they slept or didn't sleep on any given date, right? That's not what the state's attorney says when they're questioning them. They say, oh, so you mean to tell me that conveniently on Wednesday you don't know where you slept? And the jury, being a group of people
Who is she talking about? Is she talking about herself, or is she just randomly talking about someone? Because most people have a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, so most people should know where they slept on Wednesday. I know where I sleep every night. I mean, I know people be, bouncing around, but dang Lord, if you don't remember, yeah, that is a problem, Heather.
Probably have never dealt with homelessness before. They think in their minds, yeah, the state's attorney was right. This guy must be a liar. How does he not know where he slept? Well, guess what? There's a whole other side of America. Get familiar with it. Get familiar with it. And that's what the internet is doing. And that's what social media is doing. And what's happening is that the people are forced to engage with one of two paths. Everyone tries to ignore it at first, everyone, because they speak on it in a way that is not authoritative. It's faking concern. Condescending would be a good word for it. They go to these rallies. It's like the one photo I took that I believe is one of the best shots I've ever taken. There's a young lady with a big afro of hair. She was probably mixed, maybe white, maybe Hispanic, and she was hanging out of a car window during the BLM protest. And she had a sign that said, "Dismantle these oppressive systems." And what really, does that girl know about these oppressive systems? Has she ever spent a night outside? Probably not. Probably not. She's riding around in a Lexus or a Mercedes or, some car.
It's one of the best photographs.
Her and her 2 or 3 girlfriends, and they're just, they're out for the protest, and they're out here kind of spreading apart this message that they don't know how to understand.
It's one of the best pieces of documentation of the time.
The photo?
Yeah, not just of your film, or not of your photography. It's one of the best documented photos of that.
Thank you.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Him, that drive me crazy. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. He's trying to get lucky in that tent tonight. He's like, "Happy Thanksgiving." We're taking it back to the tent.
Really good photo. I'm really proud of myself for taking it. That is one of maybe 20 that will be in my coffee table book. So that's really exciting. I'm very, very excited, as I said, to share that with you all coming up here soon. I expect it to be, if you guys saw the GoPro solo production page, I pulled a Dolly Parton coffee table book from the shelves at Target yesterday. And the size of the book, along with the thickness of the book, was about 324 pages, really high quality. And the combination of her digital photograph, photography, mixed with props, mixed with blog pieces, mixed with title statement style font and phrases, and then paragraphs of elaboration, is exactly where I'm going with this idea for the coffee table book. It is exactly where I'm going. And there are a lot of photos from Black Lives Matter that I personally experienced, witnessed, and walked down the street taking these photos. And that's one of numerous social justice issues that I discuss, or that there's a lot about elitism. There's a lot about both unethical and ethical versus legal and illegal opportunity. And all of this is depicted in, and then there's the funner stuff where it's just, part of my series is beauty is in contrast. And there are many photos I've taken, myself as the medium, as well as just whatever environment I'm in, my surroundings as the medium, that explain what I mean by that without using any words.
Wait a second, did she just call herself a medium? Like, she didn't call her, she did not call herself a medium.
I love doing that as well. I love to write. I've been writing song lyrics, verses, choruses, poems, phrases, metaphors, blog posts, short stories, and I'm 424 pages into my very own novel. I've attended writing seminars. So the coffee table book is a collaboration of all my greatest ideas, revised and married together with
other
mediums that I've
Xavier's so tired of it. In a form of book. Damn it, Heather, it's a fucking book. It's a book. You made it into a book.
Personally created or been involved in to form a collection of the times. There's stuff about Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's stuff about how reasonable it is, especially with social media and the advances we have in communication at our fingertips, how plausible and realistic it is that we would have a society that didn't rely on money, cash money anymore. A society where we incentivize people for good behavior. What is good behavior? Instead of having a prison system that lets people out into a dangerous world for acting right, how about we just reward them for existing and not creating violence? How about we just reward them for existing and pursuing their hobbies and passions? How about...
I'm so confused. So then you don't want them to go to jail and be punished for what they did, but only the people who do it to you? Like, I'm so confused.
And that is through Operation, as I refer to it, Kill Bill, and the evolution of digital currency. And I look forward to, others getting involved in that idea. And I know that that's been going on for, a very long time. So I'm excited for this book to come out, and I'm thankful, that I have been able to work on that. But everything else, you guys, is not good. And that's the main part that always jumps into my mind. It's like, how do you remain positive when your three most important people, your children who you've birthed out of your birthing canal, are being kept away from you? How do you remain positive when you don't know where you're going to sleep at night sometimes, most of the time? How do you remain positive when you wake up either to the intentional illusion of sexual assault having occurred or real sexual assault having occurred? What do I mean by that? Different things, pain in different areas, markings and strategic placement of bruising and other things. There are a lot of things, and I've documented them thoroughly.
Okay, Heather, I keep, again, this was done and filmed and talked on Thanksgiving Day while people were probably waiting for their food to eat. I don't know. But people don't want to hear this. And we know you talk loud. Well, she's done pretty good here, but we all know what she does whenever she's in public and she talks about these things. But she knows she can't be too loud over here because she can't get kicked out. And also, most of everyone else is freaking homeless, so they obviously can't freaking do much for her.
But as I always say, this is to document, to remember where I was, where I've been, where I'm going. I do believe there needs to be a criminal justice system, just not an oppressive one that people's innocent relies on hundreds of thousands of dollars or access to such funding. I do believe that we should have, and again, in the absence of poverty, you don't have any of these issues with criminal justice. If no one can be incentivized to fight for someone's innocence with the incentive of money, then innocence becomes the only incentive, or the only innocence becomes...
I have no patience right now for this, Heather.
You can't call someone guilty when they're innocent if you can't pay... Okay. How do
I know. It's freaking aggravating. Imagine us trying to listen to this.
I say this. If there is no one whose child's college fund relies on your innocence, they're not in...
What? Your child's college fund relying on someone's innocence? Okay, so are you trying to say you can't buy your way into innocence?
Incentivized to prove your innocence by any means necessary. And when we remove the financial necessity behind the state of Illinois, and then following that, the ego. How many state's attorneys do you know that are walking around, and lawyers that are walking around bragging? I've won 780 convictions this year. And I've put 800 bad guys behind bars. That's ego, That's their fucking...
Well, if they are bad, then that's good. That's what they're supposed to do, is put bad guys behind bars so that they are doing a good job. Good job. Now, if they were like wrongfully convicted and then they arrested people just because, you know, that's a different story, Heather. But I have no idea why you're doing this. And you out of all people, because you want so many people arrested.
Big mind. We don't want people going to prison and your conviction rate high if those people are innocent. If you're working with a lawyer who costs $40,000 an hour, and that's one end of the argument, and the other end of the argument is someone with a public defender. What do you think? You think the public defender is going to be employing hit teams or hackers? No. To protect their client? Absolutely not. But the $40,000 client an hour, you think that lawyer is going to be doing anything to retain that business? Absolutely they are. Which means putting a gun in someone's hand and saying take someone's life. Which means, you know, and all of these things. So when you remove money, when that $40,000 an hour becomes accessible to the person living in poverty, and the public defender begins protecting the person who has been historically able to pay $40,000 an hour for their defense, the tables turn. The world flips, and not in a good way. Not in a good way always. You know, just because someone didn't do a crime that they're being convicted of doesn't mean that they need to flip their social standing. They don't probably have the experience to handle it. They probably are not going to be an asset to that same group. So there's a lot of it that comes into play. But at the very, very least, I just need to have an understanding of how it could be possible for the past 4 years of my life to go by with so much victimization and so little involvement and communication from any authority. And that's kind of, you know, it, and it's never going to go away. I have 3 children. My responsibility is to them and only them. And when you're standing in my way of feeding my kids, of clothing my children, of, you know, putting them to bed each night, what more do you want me to talk about?
I don't want you to talk about nothing unless you're about to tell us you're going to stay off social media because you getting your shit together. Like, that's it. That's the only thing I need to hear from you. Everything else is, well, guess we going to see what happens. This is my fucking entertainment.
It's Thanksgiving, and luckily we've had access to electricity. We've been using blow dryers to stay warm because I'm a borderline anemic person. My fingertips and my toes get so cold that I literally will cry in pain. In addition to that, my hips and my tailbone are in so much pain. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a history of intolerance to ibuprofen and acetaminophen. I could take it once, but if I get into 2-3 times taking it or alternating, I get very, very sick to my stomach.
That'll be very sick. I wonder if she has an ulcer. You may have an ulcer. That would suck. I wish her baby was I mean, that sounded weird. I wish she wasn't pregnant. I wish she just had an ulcer. Because an ulcer will make you swell the fuck up like that. What else did she say? She just be getting on my nerves sometimes.
So I smoke pot for my pain. I smoke pot for my anxiety. That in itself is a problem for all of these people. You know, they are eagerly seeking any reason to dislike me or justify their behaviors and actions.
Okay, I want to know though what I wish she would just kind of say. What she's not going to say what else she does, because I know she does more than pot.
That have led to my current situation and state of affairs. And there just aren't any. I'm not a drug user.
Besides
I'm
Adderall.
not a disrespectful woman. I'm not incompetent.
We all know she's on Adderall.
Maybe
not right now.
Incapable of speaking or communicating. I'm not incapable of walking around, talking. I have use of my feet, my arms, my eyes, my ears.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. Praise the Lord up above. You need to thank Him every day for it and watch your life start changing, Heather. I'm telling you, you need to start acting right and getting right. I wish someone would that would be awesome if there were preachers, you know, there, people there who if anyone wants to be prayed over, so you know, she really. And I know some people aren't, you know, believe in God or anything like that, but I do, and I think that I know that would change her life. If she wanted it, if she would just let it and take that first step, yeah, dude. he left the 99, bro. Like, to chase that one.
What is it that's keeping me out here? And what's more, what is it that is preventing communication and understanding of this situation to people who do have the authority and funding to do something about it? So, last time I checked, censorship in the United States of America was still illegal, meaning you could not block someone's live feed, you could not block someone's Instagram, you could not block someone's Facebook account. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that they pick and choose who they want to give reach to, and that whether you pay for ads or not, if the information you're sharing is going to make certain powerful parties unhappy, you're censored, you know, and all of this goes together. So Xavier has a button and an antenna. I'll show you guys later. I would never make that up, meaning he is probably a low jack of some kind. I know that sounds crazy, but 2 metal holes right here, right above his heart, and he has another one in his leg.
Oh, what happened?
Pretty much confirms that I've been on their radar.
He said pretty much confirms that I've been on their radar. He's so funny.
Pretty much confirms that I've been on their radar for quite some time.
They have, I know for a fact, just through observation, that they have included him in many, many, many psyops. When I found Xavier, when he found me and he said, Jehovah sent me to you to protect you and make sure no one raped you, you'll never spend another night outside. He knew my story and what had been going on with the reality show and the abusiveness and everything, the kids and everything. And I observed him in his home and the mess that surrounded him and the chaos that filled his mind. And it became clear to me that someone, you know, was using him for something.
Wow. Did she brainwash him? Oh my gosh. I could just picture. Oh my god, that breaks my heart. I thought he was more. I hope he was already. That she can be so evil. Yeah, the more I watched him, I could tell people were I wonder what he was like before he met Heather. And now it's like, sometimes I think he believes it, and sometimes I think he just is having fun playing games and pretending that he believes it, you know.
That they most likely wanted me, you know, to share with them what that was. And I don't know. You know, I truly don't know. But it's definitely something, and there's definitely something there. He has 2 metal, I don't know what. I have one too. A lot of people have I call them lines in.
All of a sudden you have one too, Heather. I can't.
To look at skin tags. And the ones that you could kind of feel, the ones that are like super like stiff and erect, you could feel the line in. What is that for? You know, what are we being used for without giving our permission?
Oh, honey, but that's been happening since day one.
And that's a real question. Xavier worries about the 5G towers and the effects of AI long-term on society. I'm just trying to get home to my kids. So that's what's on my mind today and every day. There's nothing new here. Super grateful for this meal. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone involved and everyone not involved. If you're not celebrating Thanksgiving today, whenever you decide to, happy Thanksgiving, and keep praying for me and my family, and I will do the same for yours. You guys have, I love holidays. Holidays are definitely my thing. Again, you guys are getting this. You guys are getting a live stream of the comments, correct? And matching them to the same UDIDs, and
this is like so funny. It's like funny, but I know it's like kind of scary to some people because it's like, who the fuck are you talking to? But she knows she's not talking to anyone. That's the thing. That's what's so annoying is she does stuff because she knows it's like weird and people might think she's like off her rocker.
Yeah, coordinates. Please, 4 years is way too much, and I've not given my permission. I don't want to be involved in this. So yes, I do want all of them criminally prosecuted, if not at the very least questioned as to what gave them, you know, the audacity, and that's a genuine, you know, curiosity. So, I mean, look at that. That's not antagonistic. Your name is Yoga Toes. Like, yuck. You know, just yuck. Why are you here? You know, this is my my page,
intellectual property,
where I document crimes being taken against me. If you're here in the comments saying that what I'm saying is a lie, not only are you slandering and libeling me and my business.
Look, see, all this could have been prevented if you just didn't go live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's funny because I am. I'm a bear. It's like I feel like a mom. It's like, y'all be nice. You be nice. Don't say anything. But then it's like, well, Heather, you shouldn't have even went live anyways. You know, it's just, this was on Thanksgiving Day. You know, I really wish you just would not have went live on Thanksgiving Day. Just enjoy your time. Really think what you need to do. Like, this was stupid. Like, she really should. I enjoy one day. You know what I'm saying? She just, like, it's like she just wants the drama. Just with one day, Heather, don't go live. Stay off your fucking phone. Enjoy the food. See if you could get assistance around you. But we all know you don't want that type of assistance. There's no Johns around there.
And my reputation, you're also making it so that law enforcement and authorities have to question whether or not they can take the information I'm sharing as serious or not. So that's a direct involvement in what I call diluting any sort of investigation that may have ever been being conducted, if there's any hope for the future. So there's nothing wrong here other than exactly what's been wrong since I was unlawfully thrown out of my home following the release of Dylan Smith from the Illinois Department of Corrections. That's inmate number Y12173, and that was in May of 2019. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. I hope that you... Yeah, so we've not had a single night that's been under 40 without electricity for heat. And now tonight it's 31, and at 10 p.m. after I've been asking all day long, do we need to go to a different location, they decided to literally take scissors, some fucking hater walking by, and cut our electric cord. So we're plugged into a public electrical outlet that is lighting Christmas lights for people's enjoyment, but some random hater...
Damn, that's fucked up. I wonder what really happened. I hope that sucks. You know what? But things like these, I hate to say it, but things like these have to happen, because if someone is comfortable in where they are at, why would they go? You know what I'm saying? So maybe this will help Heather get up and go to a hotel room. What do I need to do? I'm tired of being on the street. I'm freezing. This is absolutely ridiculous, Heather. And what pisses me off the most is that you're fucking pregnant. Like, so you should be thinking about the baby, not you and Xavier.
Decided to cut that cord to prevent people from not getting hypothermia. So you're fine with the Christmas lights, but you're not fine with human beings not freezing. Makes tons of sense. So now at 10:30 p.m., I have to change out of my pajamas, about to go to sleep, back into all my clothes, and go fucking walking around looking for somewhere else to lay down. This is year too many of this.
You're too many of this. That is some photo shit. I couldn't do that shit. I couldn't do it. I can't. I couldn't do that on my worst enemy. I hate being cold.